Hello, my lovely angels. This is your girl Sim, back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi! Guys, today I finally am doing like Kilian's angel share, Kangels. Okay, that's a new one. Hashtag Kangels, yeah. Okay, so Kilian angels, dupes, the ones I have. And I actually got myself the Kilian. This is like probably the most expensive piece of perfume I have. Would you look at that? It's a mini. Yeah, it costed me like literally one of my kidneys. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. So yeah, but this is like really expensive. I think this was I'm not sure. I think it was like $60 or $60 to $80. I'm not sure. But this is like, I don't know what you call this thing. It's a decant. I know it's not called a decant. It's called something else. Like decant is what you pour wine in, and this one is like something else. Crate? No, crate is like a box. Anyhow, so like literally for me, because I wanted to like be sure, because I had smelled this like a long time ago, and I remember that it was very interesting, but that apple note, like it had bothered me, and plus when I saw the price I was like not happening. You know what I mean. It's like you see the price tag and you're like, yeah, not worth it. So it was still on my mind for a couple of days, so it was definitely memorable, but at the same time I felt it was a little more masculine leaning. And of course in UAE you don't have like cooler weather a lot, like it's just like a few months. So I was like, is it worth it? Because this is a very like fall winter fragrance, like you're by the fireplace drinking hot chocolate, like cuddled up with your loved one, like it smells something like that. So I was like, okay, skeptical, but then I was like, you know what, for the purpose of review, I just thought I'll buy like the small decant. So I'm just gonna shake it up, put a little bit on my skin so that I can compare this to all the other ones I have. Now it definitely like is like super boozy, and what's funny is like just for a little while I feel like roasted coconut, like just like you know but then of course your apple, cinnamon, everything just comes like rushing in like suddenly, and that's all you can smell then. And this literally smells like, I would imagine how bourbon whiskey, something, one of those like smells like literally, the glass with that like that colored like alcohol smells like that. The top notes for this is cognac, middle notes of cinnamon, tonka bean, and oak, and the base notes. Today's my tongue is like base notes of praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. Okay, look, it's definitely a gorgeous perfume, and when I had sprayed this on my hand, like I walked around the whole day. I went in the heat. I was smelling this like everywhere. I was in the office, and I was in the car. I was at home. I was outdoors. It smelled nice, but at the same time, because it's summer, it was kind of like every time I took a sniff it gave me a little bit of nausea, because this is definitely not meant for hot climate. Like UAE right now, 50 degrees, like it's a lot. It's like really hot. So when you go out, you're like, plus like when you come from outside, even if you're in the office, you're still getting the heat coming through the windows and stuff, and it doesn't help. So I would dare not wear this like during summer. I mean, I'm probably never gonna wear this. I'm gonna keep this in the decant, and every time I need to like use this for comparison, like guys, as in how I'm getting some cash, like I'm trying to buy originals of like expensive like niche perfumes, so I can give you like a proper comparison. Worst case scenario, you have to go to like Sephora or somewhere, spray it, and then try and remember it, and come home and do a review. But I'm gonna try and get these little 10 mls or 5 ml vials, and like vial, is it? No, it's not called vial. This is definitely like a super beautiful perfume. Okay, this perfume is categorized as an amber vanilla, and yeah, it does sound right. On Fragrantica, this has got like 4.38. The funny thing is they've not listed like apple as a note, but I can smell apple. Like that's the first thing I smelled. I actually looked up what cognac is made of, because I was like, maybe that's where the apple is coming from, me, but it's made out of grapes. Ugh, I didn't even know that. Now we have so many Middle Eastern perfumes copying this, or duping it, or being inspired by. Like it was necessary for me to get this. And I want to start with the first one, which had become like the most famous. And literally look at that. The logo, the everything, like it's very like clearly duping it. And then that's how it looks like. Oops. That's how it looks like. You know, when you open it, it's like a nice bottle. Now I am going to spray this on a strip because I don't have enough body parts to spray all these dupes on. Now this one, yeah, initial spray is like alcohol, but it's not alcohol. This is like your mixing alcohol for perfumes. Starts off very alcoholic, so maybe mine needs a little bit of maceration, although the juice is like quite dark, so I don't know if it just begins this way or was it intentional or this is like just not macerated. This one is from Maison AlHambra and this is called Kismet Angel. Now when I'm comparing these two, by the way, the Maison AlHambra, it's rated higher than the original. On Fragrantica, it is like a 4.52. And of course, this is also classified as an amber vanilla. This one has a top note of vanilla, honeycomb, and amber, middle notes of cognac, cinnamon, caramel, and tonka bean. And the base notes are dark chocolate, although I can't smell any dark chocolate whatsoever. Maybe it will come out in the base note. But like the prominent thing over here, the sweetness. Comparatively, this one is like sweeter. This has that honey note. And it's a sweet honey note, you know, like literally that feeling when you put the honey on your tongue and that sweetness. Look, honestly, if I didn't know better, if you just like, once they reach the middle notes, if you just smell this and this, they smell very similar. But this one, the Angel's Share, the original, has this woodiness, like it's been aged in a barrel. You know what I mean? It's like, it has that barrel kind of scent. This one doesn't have that. This one smells like it was stored in glass containers. So yeah, Angel Share. It is slightly incensey as well, and I don't want to call it incensey. It's like slightly smoky. It has like the by the fireplace kind of vibe. It has like that slight vibe in it, but this one has no incensey thing at all. And the cinnamon also, it's like a little fakish. It's like your, you know that cinnamon that you get in the chewing gums and everything. What was that chewing gum called? You know what I mean. But it smells like that, like synthetic. It's slightly synthetic. This one smells like cinnamon, right? But they are very close dupes. Like if a person does not know, like actually how, if they smelled it once, like probably if I didn't have this on my hand right now, I wouldn't be able to smell the difference, you know? I would assume that this is like Kilian's Angel's Share, you know? So yeah, definitely a good close dupe. And I don't know, I'm going to test the other ones, but this is like quite close. So I don't know, like in closeness, I would give it like 8 out of 10. Like it's quite close, you know, but it doesn't have that, this is like refined, you know, Angel Share is like quite refined. This one, not so much. This one is unisex, but it leans masculine. And I don't know if it's like that image of a guy who is sitting near the fireplace and he's like rugged and has like facial hair. It gives me that image immediately, you know. Like I can't imagine a woman like in the same place or smelling like this. But you know what? I would wear this. Like I wouldn't mind wearing this, but only in winter. The thing with this is the projection is not that strong either. It's like 2 feet maximum. Like it's like definitely like in the arm's length scent bubble, it'll be there. But then projection to 2 feet, it'll have like your hints of perfume. Doesn't project more than that. And the longevity is also like 4 to 6 hours, not so much. I like this perfume. I like it very much, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 just because it's so shamelessly copying. I mean, come on, even the logo and everything, it's like too much, you know, like I feel bad, you know, it's like, and I think that's why I'm not like leaning too much towards Maison AlHambra perfumes because it's just a little too shameless, you know what I mean? Like credit should be due where credit is due, you know what I mean? It's like Angel Share definitely has like an oomph about it. You can smell money. You know, this one is like not so much. You know? But then you know what? Some of these brands are like Robin Hood for us peasants who can't afford the real deal. You know, like so yeah. You know what? As long as they're okay with it, we'll keep buying it. By the way, Angel Share. I forgot to give it a celebrity, right? Angel Share, by the way, for as a perfume for me, it's 10 out of 10. Because this was the OG. It was like, it has that niche quality. Like, you know, when you first smelled it, you were like, oh my gosh, I've not smelled this before. It's so beautiful, right? But whether you are going to use it or you don't imagine yourself using it, it still smells really, really posh. Like it smells like money. And this is for me like a proper 10 out of 10 perfume. And the rating, the celebrity, like I literally thought like a mature man with mustache and having the brandy, not brandy, what do you call it, the cognac, and sitting by the fireplace in a armchair or something, relaxing. The first person that came in my mind at that time was Richard from Friends, Tom Selleck. I was like, oh my gosh, this perfume is like perfectly like him. Like this defines. It's like you assume that guy smells like this. As for the Maison AlHambra, I gave it an 8 out of 10 because of the shameless copying of the OG. And this one, I would give it a celebrity because, of course, it has to be somebody who's like toxic masculine kind of a person. So this was like Negan from The Walking Dead, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah, that's his name. I didn't know his name. I just call him Negan, and Ali also just calls him Negan. Now, I'll tell you the differences between all of them towards the end to summarize. But the next dupe I have is La Fede Intoxicate. This is by the perfumery Khadlaj. Let me not drop it. Look at that. So again, it's the same kind of bottle, but it's a little bit more like the Angel Share bottle. Although the Angel Share bottle, it has like those, arch cuttings, and this one just has like, it's a pretty bottle. The boxes are like dead on dupes. By the way, Khamrah from Lattafa also had a box like this, right? Like if you remember, it was very similar to this one actually. Now, just for your information, if you don't know what Khadlaj is, Khadlaj perfumery has been around Dubai for quite some time, but it's not been as popular. But recently they've been doing a lot of PR activity and they're coming to the forefront. And they have a viral perfume oil which is called the Harimal Sultan Gold, which is like viral, right? And I'm going to be reviewing it soon. But they are basically in the same price range as Lattafa, and they are also like coming up with like really good perfumes, and they're joining the big leagues. So look out for them because right now the prices are like lower, but it'll start like increasing. Now this one, oh my god, okay, so very, very close. I would say this one is 9 out of 10. That the Kismet Angel was like 8 out of 10 close. This is like 9 out of 10 close. That coconut thing I was telling you, like that initial roasted coconut kind of thing, it's very prominent in this one. Like I can clearly smell this. But you know what? In Angel's Share as well, in the beginning I could smell that coconut thing and then it just disappeared. So let me see if this like disappears. But if that's the case, like these guys have done a good job because that little hint, they provided that. This is not listed on Fragrantica, by the way, just as yet. I think they have only Harim al Sultan listed on Fragrantica, but I'm assuming this would be 4.5 or so. Once people start reviewing this. This is again categorized as your amber vanilla. The notes for this, by the way, are really confusing because I just don't understand where all these notes are coming from. I took these notes directly off their website. The top notes are cognac, lily of the valley, almond, bergamot, mandarin and freesia. Middle notes of cinnamon, tonka bean, oak, lactonic, coconut, caramel, plum blossom, peony and ylang ylang. Base notes of praline, vanilla, amber, musk and sandalwood. There's definitely no lily of the valley. It's like such a strong like note, like I can't smell it. Bergamot, mandarin, all these freesia, I can't smell it. Like I can't smell the florals at all, guys. This was, by the way, sent to me by Khadlaj, but I'm going to give a very impartial review. I really feel this is like 9 out of 10, a dupe of Angel Share. To me, this is slightly heavier on spices, and that sweetness which Angel Share has, this has it in the beginning and then it just disappears, like it just stays for like a little while just in the initial spray and then evaporates, I don't know, like the cinnamon is there, but again, it's like slightly fake. I think that's where all the differences are rising from because like the Angel Share, the original one, it really has that very nice cinnamon scent and these all have, it's slightly artificial. And it's funny, like ever since like I got the original, I feel like collecting all the dupes. You know how you collect playing cards, you're addicted. Like, even if you get the same card, you still want to collect the same of the card so that you can trade it later. This one is something like that. Like now, I know there's another one called from the Amir line of Paris Corner, I think. It's called Fire of My Desire or something. It's like a weird name. I thought that that would be the by the Fireplace dupe, but apparently it's a dupe for Angel Share. So there are like many of them out there. They're like enormous like copies or dupes of this perfume. But I got the ones which were like really, really close and the ones that are getting like viral. So this has that like little slightly lactonic roasted coconut kind of scent, which is staying longer than the one from Angel Share. And the cinnamon is slightly like, let's not call it disappointing. It's like, it's just a little fake. That's the only difference I can feel. Otherwise, like once when it's drying down, the dry down of Angel Share is very prominent. You can still have, you can smell the amber, vanilla, cinnamon, cognac, like it's still like there. But for this, it's getting like, you know what I mean? It's like getting like degraded, like it's like slowly just disappearing. But I swear, to an untrained nose, these two would be like, not. That's why I'm giving this a 9, because it's like really, you really have to be like sniffing both the sides again and again to understand like what the differences are. And obviously a normal person, if they buy this, they're just gonna spray this on themselves, and the person who smells it also is just going to smell this, so there is no point of comparison. Hence, it's a good deal. The projection, unfortunately, again is like 2 feet max if you overspray, and the longevity is the poorest on this one. Just to let you know, this is like 4 hours, and then it kind of becomes like you really have to sniff yourself to like get the perfume. So it's still like a 9 out of 10 for me. I really like it. And the celebrity I'm going to give this is to, of course, I had to include him, Kurt Russell. I'm getting all those like very like mustache and facial hair, lots of hair on the head, guys who probably drink scotch all their life, or distilled something, I don't know, So that's like your La Fede Intoxicate. Now the last but not the least, of course, is our favorite. That's your AlHambra. This is like literally on my #1 spot forever on my top Lattafas, and for a good reason. This is again a dupe for Angel Share, but it's not, I wouldn't call it a dupe. This is like more of an inspired by, because they took a different direction. Like they went with the principle and then they decided, you know what, we're going to shift the gear a little bit and go like slightly make a 1-degree turn and, deviate. This one, like I can clearly smell like it's a little fresher. It doesn't have that thing of, you can only wear it in like fall, winter. It's rated as an aromatic spicy. So it has like clearly more spices, your aromatic scents, It's rated 4.41 on Fragrantica, which is excellent. Now this one has like spicy to the next level, because this one, it has the opening of cinnamon and nutmeg. So it's very spice forward. The top notes are cinnamon, nutmeg and bergamot. Middle notes of date, praline, tuberose and mahognial. Your base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, myrrh, amberwood and akigala wood. It's like a hint of, like, you will be like, yeah, it's in the same DNA, but this doesn't smell like Angel Share. It has that like cinnamon, your alcohol, the cognac or whatever. Although I think cognac is not listed over here. Let me see. No, cognac is not listed. So they're not even like, but Khamrah in Arabic means alcohol. So like, And this one has like that sweetness is coming from dates. If you've ever tried any dessert and there's dates used instead of sugar to make the, it healthier or something, the sweetness is of the dates. It has like more woods, it has more spices, and I think because of that and because they added like a little bit of bergamot, it's slightly fresher as well. This smells like a boozy baked apple pie with a dash of cinnamon, your nutmeg, and that apple pie, instead of using sugar, dates were used. This is like the best way I can explain this perfume. Like this is exactly how it smells like. So dupe wise, this is not like a direct dupe. So I would give this like a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's that different, like, And let me tell you the differences. Like, of course, I'm comparing it to the OG. AlHambra Angel, very much like the Angel Share, but it had that pronounced honey sweetness. Khamrah has the date sweetness, plus it has the nutmeg and the cinnamon spices, like really in the forefront. and it is like you have that deviation from the original DNA. This guy, it's like quite heavy on the cinnamon, and that coconut thing I told you, the roasted coconut, that's like coming forward as well. So this one is like the closest dupe for me. And Khamrah, because I can wear this like easily, I decided to give this like to a celebrity that's a female. This as a dupe is like a 6 out of 10, but as a perfume, this is like a good 10 out of 10. Like the longevity is like 6 hours plus, and the projection is like 2 to 3 feet. So this is slightly more projecting than all the others. This is again like a unisex scent. Definitely leans still a little masculine, but women can definitely wear this. And the celebrity I wanted to give this to was Catherine Zeta-Jones, aging like fine wine. That gorgeous woman. Have you seen her in Wednesday as Morticia? Oh my god, Guys, I'll probably be like adding some other perfumes that are dupes for Angel Shares soon. And I just have this weird obsession now. Like, I want to know which one is the closest, what's the difference between all of them, what makes one perfume smell different from the other perfume. And I actually quite enjoyed reviewing this because, like, when I was smelling them side by side, I felt like a perfumer, like the fact that I could differentiate a honey, coconut and spices, and like this one deviating and everything. It's like it gave me some happiness that I was supposed to like I somehow managed to like decode them and like present it to you, and hopefully it helped in making decision which closest dupe you have, which direction you want to go in, because I know not everybody loves the Angel Share perfume. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you like this video. Please do like, subscribe, share this video if you can. Like, I'm still like, I've touched 5,000 followers, which is excellent, but I do want to see some progress, and I do want to start making some moolah because I need to buy perfumes and I need to review them, and I cannot keep doing it from my monthly salary. I need to save up as well. So do that for me, please. Leave a comment. Do you have any of these? Have you compared it to the Angel Share? Which one out of these, in your opinion, is the closest dupe? Or which one do you recommend me buying to test the dupes or not? Amir, I'm definitely going to get the Fire Your Desire. And I know there are a couple of others out there, so just remind me, just tell me which ones they are and I can get them for you. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care of yourself and smell good. Bye.